Is the education category session. Our panel of judges remain the same. That is Professor Virendra Shukla, Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, and Mr. Raj Gopal Mukundan. Since this session has more number of people, so we have divided the session into two groups. So first three organizations will present first, and the next three will follow. But the prize winner will be decided amongst all the six. Am I clear? So I invite our participants, Ms. Kala Kulsingam, Headmistress Kindergarten, and Ms. Manjula Narayanan, Assistant Coordinator, Cambridge, from Global Indian International School, Malaysia. Dr. C. Palanisamy, Principal, and Dr. K. Sivkumar, Dean Planning and Development Student Affairs from Bannari Amman Institute of Technology. Ms. Jayalakshmi, Manager Admissions, and Mr. Santhin Koganti from Silver Oaks International School, Hyderabad. To just refresh our memories, 10 minutes will be given for each team to present. At 8 minutes, a warning bell will be rung. So request all teams to please wind up within the 2 minutes. Members of the audience who wish to ask any questions, please write it down on a piece of paper and hand it over to my colleagues, Ashita or Manjusha. Please do not forget to mention the company name whom you wish to ask the question to. The assessment criteria are: why is it a best practice? It carries 10 marks. Disruptive results that you've achieved, 10 marks. Development and deployment of the practice, 10 marks. Monitoring system of best practice, 10 marks. Then adherence to the timeline also has 5 marks, and followed by question and answers, which has 5 marks. So may I invite our first team from Global Indian International School to please come and present.
And to all present here, my name is Kala and this is my colleague Ms. Manjula. We are honored to be able to share with you today our best practice, and our best program is called the Pacemaker. Now why Pacemaker? No, it's not for the heart, but just like the one placed in the heart, the PACE exercises awakens and activates the mental capacities. The GIS Kuala Lumpur offers the GMP program, the CBSE, the Cambridge program. From only 206 students to more than 1,200 students to date, we have seen children grow and blossom. We take pride that we are producing happier and holistic learners for the future. At GIS, the students' needs are our utmost priority. This is clearly reflected in our school's vision and mission. I'll be talking on 4 focus areas in this presentation today. The first and most important area is, of course, why is a pacemaker the best practice? Well, the PACE itself stands for Positive, Active, Clear, Energetic Exercises, which is also part of the Brain Gym technique or the Brain Gym program. PACE exercises integrates experiences, anchors information into our neural system. And as listed out, the exercises improves concentration, memory, physical coordination, and the other benefits listed. The Pacemaker program is now being implemented and is producing impactful results in our school. Now, why is the Pacemaker the disruptive design? Well, our program moves away from the conventional teaching method, that is having the teacher as the primary source of information, having a lecture method to transfer knowledge, and having the teacher to communicate the knowledge and enforcing standards of behavior. By incorporating this program, we emphasize that learning through fun and focus create readiness for learning by waking up the brain and ensuring that learning is a whole brain learning process. This will surely lead to a progressive, modern teaching, which includes students to be engaged and be active in learning. Teachers are now facilitators and students take control of their learning. Now, what makes Brain Gym truly innovative is its balanced, age-appropriate, and adaptive approach, which allows it to evolve with students as they grow. As students progress through the robust GIS curriculum, they continually discover themselves and expand their learning horizons, a takeaway that the students carry with them throughout their personal and professional lives. The Pacemaker program enables students to gain optimal learning by helping children to focus, to have better concentration, and enhance their motor coordination. All of this gives rise to a better absorption when learning. When children learn and retain better in a happy and stress-free environment, they become joyful learners who are confident and ready to face challenges positively. As for the disruptive results achieved, we decided to track them as the children are in kindergarten and were very small, we tracked them in areas listed there and into year 1 and 2. The result was a clear increase in the children's ability to perform better as they carried out the PACE exercises every day in class. The genesis of the Pacemaker was arrived by the brainstorming sessions done with the heads of the school. We agreed that we needed to provide a high-quality education with universally desired values, innovative education, a healthy and a safe environment for children, and to make children ready to ready them for a competitive job market, to have a stress-free learning environment, and also equip them holistically to succeed in coming future. The Brain Gym exercises used for effective learning covers all areas of child's development. The exercises help not only the cognitive development of a child, but equip children with a better social emotional development, physical development, and also help with general competencies. This, in short, was the whole framework of the whole brain learning concept. Now, what is our project all about? We started out by using the word PACE, which is part of the Brain Gym technique. The Brain Gym exercises have proved that moving with intention leads to optimal learning. The Brain Gym itself has 26 sets of exercises in total, but we use only 5 exercises, which is the fundamental of all exercises. That is to help connect the left and the right brain for effective learning and living. The exercises awaken and activate our mental capacities. It integrates and anchors new information and experience into our neural system. PACE is a series of 5 activities done in just about 5 minutes. PACE stands for positive, active, clear, energetic. The exercises related to each word are done in reverse. Here we show you our children performing those exercises. Now, energetic is to drink water, to hydrate. Water improves concentration. Clear is to massage the brain button, and this increases the blood flow to the brain. And then the active, the cross crawl, activates the left and right brain to give balance and coordination. Here you see positive hookups supporting higher order thinking skills and helps with decision making. And then finally, fingertips touching to activate deeper respiration and improve circulation and to calm and relax the child. We do these sets of exercises every day for different learning environments. At the start of the day, to set the children into receiving information mode, in the middle of the day, to refocus and to re-energize, and also at times when the children get restless, to help them to calm down. Now, the practices are monitored in the areas listed, and the impact of their exercises can be seen in the next graph. We saw a lot of improvement in our children. We tracked them in the reading, math, and spelling in kindergarten. We then continued tracking the same set of children into year 1 and then the same set into year 2. The children were tracked and assessed based on areas there. And we also looked at life skills and happiness productivity. We believe that creating a whole child equipped for the future must be happy and is equipped with some basic life skills. The exercise proved that children who came into our school with different challenges showed improvement and were happier and more effective as days went by. The next slide will show you how we have measured our productivity. The surveys were carried out with parents from the kindergarten as well as parents in year 1 and 2. The feedback from the survey has been very encouraging. even with requests from parents to train them with the brain gym exercises too. And we have responded to these requests by conducting workshops on brain gym for parents. And in implementing this project with our children, we first had to train our teachers to learn and practice these exercises themselves. And as the brain gym exercises do not only benefit the young, it addressed and helped our teachers first. And with a happier teaching faculty, the project took off without any problems. In fact, teachers were highly motivated and became actively involved in school activities, as well as reaching out to the community. And one such activity is to teach the teachers from the UNHCR. The project has shown vast improvement in our vision and mission compliance index. This we have tracked from 2013 to date with a steady increase. And as per our vision, we are leading others in teaching and learning by sharing our success with our sister schools. We are proud to say that this initiative is now being implemented and is carried out in all GIS campuses. Our students across the campuses have become better learners and are motivated to learn. This we can see in the participation levels that has increased in academic as well as co-curricular activities. In conclusion, the program is a lifelong asset which the children continue to take with them. It's a strength not limited by departments. It's student-centric, tried and tested approach, no special lessons required as it's done as and when it's needed. It's most importantly cost-effective as all our teachers are trained in-house. With that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon the team from Banari Amman Institute of Technology to please give their presentation.
Good afternoon, every one of you present here. Myself, Dr. Sivakumar, Professor and Dean, Planning and Development, and this is my colleague, Dr. C. Palnichami, Principal of our institute. We are representing Banari Amman Institute of Technology. It's an autonomous institute. A brief note on the institute. The institute started in the year 1996. And we have completed 23 years of journey. And we are one among the top 100 colleges in India as per the NAR ranking last year. We have rated in 76 in the year of 2018. We are here to present the best, one among the best practices that are being followed in our institute. I am start with the why is it required for these best practices in our institute and what are the issues. I start from this slide. Industries complain that 90% of our students coming out of from the engineering colleges not employable. It's true also. The reason was they are not being taught the industrial exposure or hands-on training inside the classrooms. It's a big issue for every institute. On the other side, if you ask about the institute, they complain that industries are not extending the support to give the training to students in terms of industrial training or projects or industrial consultancy, etc. And the other side, in between the two, the students' life in the institute is other category. They are fully packed with their academic schedule, starts from the classroom attendance, attending seminar, workshops, conferences, and writing the internal assessment examinations and final sums examinations and getting scores, and their aim is to finish the degree. So they never thought about going to industry, get the training out of the industries for their benefit. So there is a big gap between the three, institute, industries and the students. So what is the solution for that? It's a priority of every one of us to solve the issues, is because it's national issues. Everybody is talking about these students' employability. So this is a problem of the day we have to address in this session. And practically, if you see, industry cannot afford a placement, training to all the students across the country because the number is huge. At the same time, institute also cannot depute all the students all the time to industries because of their academic schedule. Such a way, this is very difficult. So what we have suggested in our institute, we have started on best practices. We are bringing the industrial atmosphere inside the campus. By the way, we have introduced one laboratory called Product Development Laboratories, in which we have introduced 23 laboratories, such laboratories, which are very focused on hands-on training, which are being given in the industries, out of which 13 are basic and fundamental laboratories, and 15 are applied laboratories. In these applied laboratories, students can develop their product for different applications with the help of the basics and fundamental laboratories. And what is the deployment of this product development laboratory inside the campus? We have a different system in which, first of all, we have appointed a full-time technical expert in each laboratories, because the technical experts is required for every students to assist their project. Otherwise, faculty cannot spend time full-time with the students, because faculty have different tasks, handling classes, and various tasks they have. So we have a full-time employee to take care of this students project. And the other side, we have provided all kind of equipments, consumables, and tools for their making products by students. And the third one, the laboratory is kept open for 24/7 in all 365 days. So the students can come any day, any time, and do their project in this particular laboratory. And this, the next one is they make a product for industry requirement, or they can participate different events conducted across the country and across the world. This is a benefit out of that, by which the students will be able to gain hands-on experience to make them ready for the employment. This is the way we can reduce the gap between industry and institute, because as I said, industry cannot afford training to all the students available in India. This is the way we can reduce the gap between industry and institute. This is one part we have satisfied. The other part, the challenge is how you motivate the students towards this kind of training, because unless students are given some credits or academic benefits out of that, students will not turn to the practice. So now the challenge is student motivations. Further also we have a system. So we have given, students are given enough time to come across this laboratory, do exercise and make a product in this laboratory for about 350 hours per semester, because in our semester we are working for 100 days. Every day we have 7 hours working. So totally we have 700 hours, out of which 350 hours only is required or is mandate for completing the syllabus and curriculum. The rest of the 350 hours is being used for different activities, as I mentioned earlier. So the 350 hours are given to the students to take up this product inside the laboratories. They are given freedom to access the laboratories in 350 hours. So they will come to the laboratory without additional burden. Or this is only working during the working hours, not beyond the working hours. And the next thing, students are given basic training to handle, how to handle the tools, equipments and software and all during the beginning of semesters. So will be able to handle the tools and software very easily. The next part is all the activities inside the laboratories and their achievements is being considered for the credits, academic credits. Unless otherwise students will not be motivated. This another things, because these credits is be counted for their final calculation of grade. So the last one is all their performance in terms of academics and skill in various part will be monitored by the students themselves through the dashboard. This dashboard is given to all the students. It's an online dashboard. Every time they will be assess the tool and they get know about their performance in each category. The red mark is given them the warning to the students, you are below in this particular level, so you have to improve this level. And the green mark is satisfaction level, and the another gray color is mentioned for the yet to improve this level. This is kind of assessment is being given to the students to assess by themselves. The next one, another challenge is how to sustain, how to improve or continuous improvement of this system. Once you sorted and engage all the students, what is the improvement of the system? That also we have a systematic approach. So in this process, we have a year-long calendar for all the activities, all the training program conducted inside the laboratory, as well as even being conducted across the country and world. So every activities is calendar and circulate to all the students. That way students will know about their year-long plan for the product development. The second one is every activity is being documented properly for their future reference. So students can know about their last year performance and they can compare to the next year performance. That things are recorded in this calendar wise. Is a daily news is being published in our campus. So students can access their daily news for the improvement of the performance of these activities. Then this laboratory is being reviewed internally by an expert team. Is a periodical review once in month. The progress of this particular activities is reviewed and report is submitted to the management. So based on the calendar, whether they have been accomplished the task or not, is being conducted properly. And finally, to evidence of this all efforts, we would see the chart. It shows the result. So in the last year, it was student involvement in different activities is become tremendous. It's 800 from 250. It's 1 year effort. And the major event participated by our students is only reputed events I mentioned here. Last year it was 21, now it's 43. And prizes won by our students. Last year it was 5, now it was 23 is being improved. So it's our way of approach totally making difference. So everybody is now happy in this campus. So all the students are ready for employment in coming years. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you all.
Now I invite the team from Silver Oaks International School, Hyderabad to please present their best practice.
Progressive, feel good, look good, and do good, have and show confidence. This is our culture to live at Silver Oaks. I have been associated with this organization for about 13 years. I am Jayalakshmi, the admissions manager, along with Sahith representing Silver Oaks International School, to enlighten you into one of our best practice, the stationery policy. Before I start, I need to tell you the purpose of initiating this policy. So this is our mission statement: to integrate into teaching and learning the goals for conservation and social justice, to develop civic virtues and emotional skills that can empower our icons to be icons of personal and social change who will play leading roles in the transition to a sustainable future. Here icons means our students. Icons are the seeds of the oak trees, and we are surrounded with 2,000 silver oak trees in our school. So we are all on this mission to make this world a beautiful place to live in. We are creating contributors, not just the consumers. So now over to Sahith.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let me start. I'm a person who has been living two sides of the same story. You must be wondering how is that. So let me introduce myself. My name is Sahith, and I'm the alumni of Silver Oaks International School, and now presently working at Silver Oaks as a science coordinator. So I feel I'm privileged enough to tell you why is it a best practice. So at Silver Oaks, the policy to conserve is the predominant culture. The once tenuous practice of inculcating an order in the usage of stationery has now become a second nature for the school. It strategically safeguards one's ability to spend on various necessary resources. On the whole, this practice supports the sustainable and holistic growth of the students. They get to be organized and principled. They learn they learn to utilize resources to maximum, and thus developing attitudes like equality, integrity, and austerity. They are caring towards their things. They develop leadership qualities. Over and above this, they outgrow feelings like jealousy and getting attracted to fancy and expensive things. So it makes them a wiser citizens for a greater tomorrow. So now let's hear about the stationery policy from the students themselves.
Policy is basically like a right and responsibility. And a right is we can use the stationery whenever we want and we always have access to it. And the responsibility is to maintain it very neatly throughout the year so that everyone has an equal chance of using it.
We divided into groups of 5 or 6, and there is a group leader for every group. The stationery that we bought is kept safely with the group leader, and we pick up random pens, use them for the day, and make sure that we submit them at the end.
And in each group, we have something like this. It is placed in the center of the group. Each child picks up the stationery, he uses it and puts it back.
The group leaders are changed for every 1 month, and they put the stationery with themselves safely.
If there are 25 children in the class, each child is given a kit. The kit consists of 21 pencils, 6 erasers and 4 sharpeners. The homeroom teacher would be handling that amount of stationery in her class.
The policy helps us in various ways in our daily life. For example, you don't have to use resources that really cost you a lot. For example, you don't need a pencil case to hold your belongings as it's already provided by the school and it is put in the school itself.
The main objectives are responsibility to safeguard the stationery, outgrow feelings like jealousy and pretensions, even sharing.
We don't bring stationery from home unless we are asked. This helps us better understand that it is our responsibility to conserve resources. And stationery policy really changes our lives as we understand that we don't have to need the best out of the best and we can use it for the simplest way.
So this is how the stationery policy is conducted in our school.
So you must have got a proper insight about the stationery policy. So now let me take you through development and the thought process which went behind that. So the main thought process was to focus on inculcating a system and accepting and utilizing basic essentials that are provided and accessible invariably to each and every icon. To draw a clear wedge between what students want and what they need. To neutralize their feelings for fancy things and to accept sharing and conserving were few of the most important thought processes went behind that. Now let us know about the deployment from the teacher themselves.
So how do we deploy it in the school? The school plans and consolidates the year-long requirements of books and stationery for the students and provides it as a kit. The kit is distributed with the books. A part of it is maintained in the school and a part of it is sent to home as well. All the students wisely use and utilize the stationery as and when it is required and place it back diligently. And this averts the need for having a pencil box. They need not carry a pencil box because the stationery is already in the school and 3,000 of our students are not buying a pencil box, and I assume most of the pencil boxes are made of plastic. So how do we monitor this to happen? All the accounts of the school primarily focus on inculcating the culture to conserve by sustainably utilizing the resources provided to them. All the stationery provided are computed periodically by the staff to keep a record of the degree of usage. The students are trained to be a minimalist in their utilization by expending only the necessary amount, but at the same time it is ensured that they never feel the lack of availability. What do we achieve by this? So for example, this table shows the amount that they spent with the stationery policy. A grade 3 student would be spending 315 rupees for the stationery policy and a grade 8 student will be spending 416 rupees. On an average, 3,000 of our students will be spending 10,50,000 rupees with the stationery policy, and I am damn sure as a parent I know if I need to buy stationery for my children, I would be spending at least 1,200 rupees a year for the stationery. So that would be amounting to 36 lakhs for 3,000 students. The above mentioned amount is the tangible saving of the school. Minor classroom savings like this, which will be amounting to a magnanimous amount of about 25,50,000, and over and above this, it also supports and respects the time of the parents by eradicating the need for going out and investing time to get the apt stationery for the children. And all our students grow up with an idea that me and my country, we grow together. They feel that they are responsible to bring the country along with them. So me and my country, we grow together. Thank you.
Thank you, teams. May I request you to please take your seats in the audience. I call upon the next set of presenters for this session. Dean SSW from Thakur College of Engineering and Technology, Mumbai. Ms. Seema Sablok, Principal, and Ms. Reshma Rao, Vice Principal, Bant Sangha SM Shetty High School and Junior College, Mumbai. Ms. Sheila Menon, Principal, Ambassador Schools, Dubai, UAE. May I invite Dr. Lochin Jolly from Thakur College of Engineering to please give a presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Thakur College of Engineering and Technology, Mumbai, I present before you our best practice, student validation and result prediction. This best practice has been adopted to strategize the effort of teachers to enhance the results of students, be it academics or placement. So this will be the flow of my presentation. Why it is a best practice, or the objectives that we have defined is, we adopt the strategies which will optimize the performance of the student and enhance their performance by adopting it as for the continuous improvement of the students throughout the semester. The motivation for adopting this best practice is our mission statement, which talks about right academic ambience for making our students competent engineers to deliver quality results in the industry. The need was identified looking at the present scenario. All of us are aware that in Maharashtra, around 60,000 seats in technical educations are empty. We being fortunate that we are in a metro, all the seats get filled up. But the impact is that the quality that is coming at the input is reducing, and that can be seen through the CET scores which we have taken as a markers, which show a reduction in the numbers, scores that we are attaining at the input level. So we adopted this strategy to enhance or scale up the students' performance, so that the teachers could strategize the content planning and deliver it, and strategize for the regular evaluation of the students. If we look at the process starts with student validation. It is a process of segregating the students at the input, be it at the first year or every semester starting. We segregate them into excellent, good and average depending upon their scores in the previous examination. It could be an HSC or a previous semester examination. The strategies are made by the faculty as to what are the doubt-solving sessions that will be conducted, what are the extra tutorials that will be conducted, what will be the extra club tests that will be conducted, that help us so that the efforts are channelized to the right audience and they are enhancing the performance of the student. The excellent students are encouraged to take up certification courses like FOSS or NPTEL, or do the bridge courses which will enhance their quality and enhance their chances of getting better placements. In the continuous improvement process, what we do is, by adopting these policies, we keep on monitoring the performance of students in their internal assessment test, the term work, that is the work that is allocated as a part of a curriculum, and their participation in the classroom, which is taken as an attendance, as well as their interaction with the class teachers. Why we have taken attendance and their participation is, this is a result or an outcome of another best practice in our college of studying the students' results and their correlations with the other parameters, that we have derived a direct relation between the attendance and their participation and their results. Then, using a weighted formula which we have developed after a rigorous study of the results of the previous years, that we predict the results of an individual and also of the population. This process is divided in the planning stage into 6 stages, 3 major categories as pre-analysis, in-semester analysis and semester end analysis. In pre-analysis consisted of collecting the data of the previous semester and segregation of the students. In-semester analysis was adopting the strategies for performance enhancement and grading the students throughout the semester and monitoring them. And end semester was developing the weighted formula for their prediction, analyzing the output and prediction of individual as well as the population. And finally, comparing the results obtained with the actual results at the time of declaration, and again be putting it as a feedback to enhance our system. We being an engineer believing in continuous improvement. So
I'll just explain the deployment with taking one example of an FE students. So at an FE, when the students are coming to us, the two indicators of their academics are PCM and the CET scores. We take it as an input for segregation the students, and we have made a strategy for grading them depending upon their marks in PCM and CET. Just to quote an example is greater than 80 in PCM is given a grade of 5, and greater than 120 in CET is given a grade of 5, and so on. The cumulative of PCM and CET grade gives us or helps us to categorize the students into excellent, good, and average as per the scores of 10 for excellent, 9 and 8 for good, and 7 and 6 for the average. This is an example of the study that we have carried out. So, in the deployment stage, we come out with the category of how many students lie in each category, and it can be clearly seen that the number of students lying in the average category is slightly increasing every year. So, this may impact the final quality that we may get at the end, and therefore we need to adopt a policy so that whatever be the input, be the student at the input level, his performance at the output level or after 4 years is the same irrespective of his level at the input. So we have adopted this strategy. In the in-semester analysis, the indicators were taken as term test, the term work, final attendance and participation, which were given a weightage of 40% for the previous exam, 20% for the term test, 25% for the term work, and final attendance 10 marks, 10%, and 5% for his participation. So an example shows of how we have calculated and categorized and finally declared the results on their percentage attendant as fail or pass, that is done at the end of a semester by using this weighted formula. This is how we predict this is an individual results we predicted. Now we predict about the population also using this weighted formula. As I said, this has been developed taking the study of the previous semester results that we have developed, and we keep on enhancing it depending upon the result. And it can be clearly seen that the difference between the predicted and the actual has been near about 2.5. We also do a study after getting the result of how much was the result matched, upgraded, or degraded. Matched is we predicted first class getting a first class, we predicted a pass class getting a pass class, we predicted a fail and getting a fail. Upgraded if the student goes from fail to a pass and pass to the first class. And similarly degraded if he moves from the first to the pass class or from the pass class to the fail. So we can see here that our prediction of the individual results was not so good for the first time when we conducted it, but we have improved it to round about 69–70% that we have attaining the matching of our results over the 3 years. The monitoring of this activity, the ownership of this process lies with the process in charge, and the person involved in this process are process in charge, the team of faculty, and the HOD. The collection of the data at various levels are done by the process in charge and the team of the faculty. Development of the weighted formula depending upon the previous results is done by the process in charge and the HOD. Analysis of the population and individual prediction is done by the process in charge and the team. And finally, the comparison of the prediction and the actual results is the duty of the process in charge and HOD so that they can make the strategies for the next coming semesters. So the impact of this, adopting this policy is we adopted this in 2016. The results were around 60%, and for first year, since we are an ISO institute, we have set a target of getting minimum 70% result for our first years, and it can be clearly seen that now we are achieving our targets, and now it is more than 70%. Another parameter in our quality objective is that 75% of our past students should get a first class. And it can be clearly seen that we are maintaining, it's not that only we are getting a good number of students passing, but we are also maintaining the quality that is more than 75%. It is around 80% students who are getting first class out of the pass class. Another indicator of our success of our student is a success rate. Success rate is defined as the number of students clearing the engineering curriculum in 4 years, and we have a target of 75%, which we have been achieving, and right now we are at the highest with 85% as our success rate, the students completing their curriculum in 4 years. Regarding placement, our target set is that 85% of our students out of eligible should get the placement. The word eligible comes from the criteria given to us by the various companies who are visiting our campus, and we have been achieving our target of 85%, and also the overall has been indicated talking about the number of students of the overall population getting the placement at the end of 4 years of curriculum. The salary package also is an indicator of the quality of the students. It can be clearly seen that presently our students are getting a good salary package, and this has impacted on the average salary package that our students are getting. So we call it as a best practice because we segregated the students falling in different categories. We strategized our efforts so that all the students are giving the best performance, not only in academics, but also in their placement. It has improved the students' performance and made our teaching and learning process more effective. And therefore, I conclude with that understanding of us about the students' performance and their study patterns had helped us to make the strategies which has been helping us to improve their performance year on year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jolly. Now I invite the team from Bans Sangha SM Shetty High School to please come and present their best practice.
I, Seema Sablok from Bansanga SM Shetty High School and Junior College, a 20-year-old institution, believes that dreams come true if one has the courage to pursue them. We have made a benchmark in education due to our relentless efforts in shaping our students into capable individuals who will be able to shoulder their responsibilities and be valuable asset to the society. We know that the first and the foremost factor or the secret is that we think positive about the people we lead. One of our key social optics is respect in education. This is visibly showcased through the lens of being respectful to everyone, having empathy for all, being socially conscious, passionate, orienting ourselves and others towards excellence in acclimatizing, all towards being competent and transparent in education. Following a policy of inclusiveness, we are determined to become the vanguards of peace and compassion and reach out every soul, cherish each individual. In the academic year 2012-13, our students and teachers came up with a unique idea of celebrating Diwali. And with this, the journey to the 1,000 miles actually began. Articles and goodie bags were distributed to our housekeeping and support staff. The joy of giving motivated us to extend the scope of this activity to a wider scale. We strive to transform our students into the guards of goodness. For us, education is to imbibe compassion in their hearts and empower them to shoulder the responsibilities of eliminating sadness from their environment. The seed once sown has now sprouted. The little sapling had to be nurtured and nourished with the courage to go ahead and lots of compassion. It made us all wonder and introspect on the thought, why should we be doing this? And the answer was very clear and profound. A clear understanding of a purpose, inculcating values and life skills, retaining and maintaining the quality to enhance and shape all-round development and personalities of our students. These were the objectives. We not only wanted to contribute towards making this world a better place to live, but also inculcate values of giving back to the society and being responsible and committed in our children. We received an overwhelming support from parents, students, management, and teachers. The realization that we as an institution have initiated a good cause, a movement of change involving 2,800 students, their parents, and 250 teachers, and a small community comprising of the families made us strengthen our resolve to carry this purpose forward and build a network of such like-minded people so that a ripple effect of goodness can be seen in the society. The why having been answered, we realized that our students would imbibe the values of respect, accountability, and teamwork in the practical way. This introspection helped us to ignite the spark of contributing selflessly to the society, transforming joy of giving to the school's social responsibility under the banner of care to share. Under this umbrella, each and every member of our institution worked hand in hand in realizing the mission of our institution, personality development for nation building. Armed with the resolve and determination burning in our heart, we brainstorm as to how should we blaze a trail we have created. All of us put on our thinking caps. Targets were set with a positive plan, keeping in mind all our challenges and opportunities that we could cash on. We pulled in our resources, sought support, banked on our strength, and searched for solution with clarity. Knowing that the magnitude with which we are carrying out these activities cannot be done on our own, we sat together and brainstormed about how we could apply these activities in our mainstream, held meetings, and collaborated with many organizations who held similar intent. In this journey, there were many ups and downs. Our project initiated with joy of giving and fused with the passion to carry on our good work. The next year, we reached to a needy school in our vicinity which lacked some basic necessities. Stationary items along with science lab apparatus and requirements were put in a goodie bag and gifted to them. A small culture program was also conducted by our students for them. All of us went all out to do our bit, be it generous Thursday newspaper donation by students that contributed towards the collection of rupees 25,000, or students of standard 8, 9, 10 preparing variety of articles in their social service period that were put up for sale on an open day. We have made a mark in every field. In collaboration with Green Soul initiative undertaken by our institution last year, we had collected old and worn-out shoes. And along with the donation of rupees 50,000, the refurbished shoes were distributed to the students of 3 tribal schools. Doing our bit for the society in such simple ways sensitized our students to work for a bigger cause. They were all set to go beyond their limits. A wonderful cultural and musical fundraising program organized with great success. Our budding artists joyfully sold their paintings, which contributed towards art exhibition in association with Sanskriti Arts. We collaborated with Nityanjali Foundation to organize cultural program and donate the money to Nityanjali Foundation, Green Soul Foundation, and ADAPT. And in October 2018, a Garba and Dandiya night was organized in our school ground. Invincible and unstoppable now, the euphoria had set in. We were honored to contribute funds to Tata Memorial Cancer Hospital, National Association for Disabled Enterprise, and also student scholarships. Care to share had become a part and the parcel of our lives in our institution. In this self-centered world, instilling values in our students and sensitizing them towards the needy and developing empathy was our challenge. We set a target of collecting rupees 2 lakhs in the year 2015-16, which seemed an uphill task to many. We needed a change, the mindset of our parents and students, and infuse the same spirit in our staff too. Our students were shown inspirational videos and were also explained the purpose of this activity. Our efforts bore fruits, and the collection of rupees 5 lakh plus was done. Our efforts of sensitizing and empowering the students were visible during a sudden untimely demise of one of our teachers. The management, parents, students, and teacher together gallantly pitched in about 7 lakh plus to help his bereaved family by hosting exhibition where students displayed and sold not only their handcrafted articles, but also their culinary food items. Taking inspiration from the training program of ETST at Panchgani, we decided to undertake the activity in our institution by the name Ek Coin, Ek Value, which served a dual purpose to imbibe values with empathy, compassion, patriotism, and gratitude. In our students, many activities were centered around this activity. Earthen piggy banks were given to each child, and in our institution, they had to decorate these piggy banks in the form of competition. Students had to earn money in a very incredible way, thereby adding value to each coin earned. Parents and teachers were oriented about this noble mission of supporting the families of martyred armed force personnel, wherein a child would be offered a coin from the denomination of rupees 1 to 10 for any good cause or a deed they have done. The students gathered excitedly on the ground on February 8th to break open their pots and count the money. We celebrated Valentine's Day in a very unique way by collecting homemade rotis and donating it to the Roti Bank, by spreading the message of love and compassion. In Dreams Begin Responsibility, our Care to Share venture not only believed in sharing monetary benefits, but also the services towards the needy. Our teachers took responsibility in a very unique way by adopting a school and helping the students of SSC board by teaching them for their board exams. Our primary teachers also took up responsibility to take a workshop for another BMC school teachers and take workshop on English teaching techniques. Reviewing ourselves is one of our practices. We put on our thinking caps to analyze SWOG. Our DNA of our institution, our students, parents, our strength, our weaknesses, time constraint, and some rigid mindset, we take every opportunity in facing the challenges. And hence, our SSR committee was formed. The regular check through meetings, discussion, and brainstorming sessions have made SSR activity one of our best practice in our institution. Transparency is maintained, record keeping is cumulative basis, fund management meticulous, in the bank account, regular review meetings happen. A feedback, we went a step ahead to take a feedback from our students. A survey was taken to reveal that our students were very enthusiastic to participate in the SSR activities and carry on this legacy every year. Our assiduous efforts have reaped spellbinding results. The tangible results are undoubtedly beneficial, but the magnitude scope of intangible results are unfathomable. For we know that we have chiseled and molded our students to be responsible leaders of tomorrow. Our upcoming project in the pipeline is to establish an NGO, and we follow the concept of golden circle, which means any organization seem to create their foundation by addressing why they exist, how they go about their mission, and finally what they do. We determine to orient unitedly to this noble cause, for we know if we unite, nobody will fall. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Ms. Sheila Menon, Principal Ambassador School, to deliver her presentation.
Happy afternoon to all the esteemed judges, dignitaries, and all present here. The program or the best practice that we are talking about is something probably different from what has been presented until now. We are talking about, at the heart of the best practice that I'm talking about is inclusion. In simple terms, the best practice is an intention, an approach to create inclusion in the school in the true sense, where all stakeholders, the students, parents, and staff have an inclusive, a sensitive, a sensible approach towards all type of learners, especially students with special abilities or special needs. Why did we do this? That's because of the increasing number of cases that we are finding for admission process. Many a times we face parents who are probably denied admissions for special needs students elsewhere. That is what gave us the thought process to look deeply into the very meaning of inclusion across school. That's when in 2016 we launched this program, or we initiated a program known as Peer Mentoring Helping Hands program. We have almost 7 to 10% of students of the total population in the school who are students with special needs. Students on ADHD, or you might have ADD, ASD, autism spectrum, or different types of learning problems or difficulties. We wanted to create the practice in our own school. That is when we started creating this practice by involving our own students. The students, especially the first target set of students, were students from grades 9 and 11. We involved them, trained them, spearheaded by the Special Education Needs Department. We call them the happiness ambassadors of the school. Students, around 35 students who were ready to come ahead and help these students. We call them the buddies. The students with special needs, especially at the initial stage, around 35 students with varying level of difficulties. We created education plans, the behavior plans, lesson plans, and a lot of targets, goals for these students, and started buddying them and timetable that. Every week, 1 hour of allotted time for these students to go into the primary classes and buddy the students of determination. And that is when we slowly started seeing the changes. Our purpose was not just about numeracy and literacy development. We were looking more at the emotional and social development of these students. It took some time for us to see the changes. Initially, there were cases of resistance. There were cases of more emotional breakdowns and meltdowns. But with time, 3 months, 6 months, we could see the visible changes. In some cases, the changes, the progress was very strongly visible. Some at a slow pace, some it had just plateaued. But we continued with the effort, and we could see that the progress being reflected in the social skills of the students, lesser aggression by the students, and also in the other aspects of academics. That was the first stage, and that still continues. We started in 2016, and now more students of the school are involved in the My Buddy program. Now, this was all about creating an in-school inclusion program. The success of it, or meeting the target, or feeling that this is bringing about good result, we want to reach out to the community. That is when we partnered with another school, another organization of special needs, an organization that keeps students with severe to moderate to severe challenges, those students who are not taken into mainstream schools. We welcome them to our school, gave them a platform in those schools so that they will be buddied with our students and trained on various skills. We call it My Buddy Together for a Just World. So we trained our students. Again, this time we took the students from grade 11, gave them intensive training at that center. How to handle these students, what are the do's and don'ts, when is it that you need to step back. And after this training, they were put into a program where the students would come to a school twice a month for 2 hours and would get skills in sports and arts to start with. It is just pure coincidence that these students from 2017 were trained for Special Olympics, and today the Special Olympic begins in Abu Dhabi. And I'm proud to say that some of the students who were trained by our students are a part of the Special Olympics. It's something we feel good about because we have moved away from the mainstream, main thinking process and done something very different. You need a lot of courage to do something like that. That is still continuing, My Buddy program for this special needs school. Now comes the deployment, the monitoring of this. It's very easy to say that you're talking about compassion, kindness, but how do you monitor these abstract terms? Now that is where we talked about setting clear-cut targets and goals. We have the IEPs and the IAPs for these students. We have incorporated that into our lesson plans, into the timetable, and we started monitoring them week by week, monthly, termly, and wanted to see whether is there an academic impact on these students, is there an emotional and social impact on these students, and that is what encouraged us to see that whenever these students are with their peers or senior students, the bonding is much better. They are able to relate much better. Similarly, we could see the students who came from this special needs center, they were able to gel in better. Initially, we had the special education, the special educators and counselors also being a part of it. Slowly, we withdrew. And then we could see the students themselves taking the initiative and taking it ahead. It did not stop there. We wanted to know what more we can do for when this reaching out to the community, and when even the other organization came to know about what the school is doing for special needs students, we started getting requests from other organizations whether the school can have internship for the students. This is something that most of the educational schools would want to stay away from. Even with coming to the admission process, most of the schools want to stay away from the students with challenges and difficulties. Here is where another organization, when they wanted to do internship, we started in September 2018. We allowed these students, 3 of them to start with. We started training them in internship programs, something as simple as library skills, as storekeeping skills, and also for the reception skills. And where are we? Right now, we have more institutions, organizations coming for internship requests, and we are welcoming them. Result of this best practice, if you look at, it's 3 stages. First, we started it in school as an in-house program. We reached out to the community after that. Then we have internship programs happening in those schools. All this led to 3 steps that we are talking about. It had led to 2 different levels of improvement or the progress that you can see. One is, what has it done to the students of determination or the students of special needs? One is, you give them a more friendly atmosphere. You bring them to a mainstream school and tell them, here it is. This is the society that you're living with. Don't get confined to a special needs center. Here are the buddies, the students who are ready to welcome you, accept you into the society. So that was one part. Give them more confidence, give them more skills. On the other side, what are we doing to the mainstream or the neurotypical students that we are talking about? The students with normal, regular routine. We have made them more compassionate. We have made them more sensitive and sensible to the needs of the other students. Just imagine, we have around currently 800 students in the school from grades 1 to 12. Even if 10% of these students can make a difference in the world, these are the students who will be future leading organizations. They will be parents. They might have students with learning problems. Look at the type of impact that they are more sensitive to the needs. Don't you think they are creating a world that's a better place to live in, and impact that you can see? And why do we call it a best practice? Just like I said just now, we are going to the next level, wherein just last week we had a discussion with one of this particular center as to what should be doing next to take it further ahead. They just suggested, is it possible that our students be a part of your annual day? Now that was something. You have an annual day, you are parents, you have normal, regular children, you are coming there to watch the program of your children, and you have the special needs students partnering with the students, your children, and doing. How many of you will be able to accept it? But we said, come, we are ready to welcome you, and in the next annual program that we are planning, we will have the students not exclusively performing, but inclusively with our students putting up shows. Now that's one more step that the school has taken. Again, creating a lot of sensitivity. Of course, for this practice that has spread around, we did win a lot of recognition, but we did not stop it at that level. We went ahead, and we are going stronger with this practice. It's not about getting recognized or awards. It's more to do with spreading that message to the world that we are talking about creating. I remember a child in one of the discussion telling me, ma'am, we are talking about creating gene programmers, brain augmenters, but here we are talking about creating students, a world that is a better place to live in. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we begin with the question and answers for this session. So I request any one representative from each of the schools to remain on the dais. And I invite one representative from the earlier 3 organizations to please join us.
Hello. If we are ready, we can ask the questions on behalf of the large audience. At the outset, let me thank all of you for having a very wonderful presentation, each one of you. So I ask my colleague first.
First question is coming to Madam Kala from Malaysia. The question states, what are the contents of this curriculum, this pacemaker? And another question attached to this question is, what methodology for learning was used?
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. The contents for the curriculum, basically they're a set of exercises from the brain gym technique. Now, the set of exercises from the brain gym techniques that we have taken are the 5 basic techniques that help to connect the left and the right brain. So we have done, as I explained earlier, we have done 5 sets of exercises. So one is to drink water, next is to do the brain buttons, cross crawl, and then to do the hook up, and then to fingertips touching. These are the only 5 basic, very simple exercises. So there is no big curriculum framework. It's simple 5-step exercises, physical exercises to help to connect the left and the right brain of each child, adults, and anybody who has the need. So these exercises are done as and when the child needs it. Beginning of the day, when we start the lesson, middle of the day, when the child is doing different activities to calm them down, and also to end of the day. So as and when the child is needed. There's no basic set curriculum for this.
Another question coming to you is, what are the benefits gained by the students and parents by following these practices?
Okay, we have now, this day and age, like ma'am shared just now, a lot of children come with different challenges. Some with ADD, some with, hyperactive and, just cannot concentrate. Some with who are slow learners. Now, these exercises benefit the very normal child as well as these children who have difficulty focusing. It helps them calm down, helps them to get in a state where they are ready to get information, ready to start learning, ready to sit down in a calmer pace. So that's what's the benefit that they're getting for children. Now, I also mentioned that these exercises, we also teach our parents and also teachers, of course, to teach the children. We have also conducted workshops for parents because parents too need to calm down and handle children of challenged children, or these days they have hyperactive children. So this helps them to calm down as well. So a lot of parents have come back to us and said that it helps them in their day-to-day activities at home as well.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Shukla, please.
Okay, this question is for Silver Oak School. How do you ensure hygiene of students who are sharing stationery?
Hygiene.
For example, some of them have habit of holding the pencil in their mouth while working or thinking. It's a very genuine question. Surely you must be having some process.
That's true, sir. So, in one of my slides I was mentioning, the children will know the difference between what I want and what I need. They use the pencil only when they are writing, and the rest of the time it is put back into the pencil holder that is there on the table. So they don't handle the pencil if they are not writing. So that is how I don't, they share, it's not that they don't write a name on that pencil and they use the same pencil. The purpose of it will be lost if we write the name of the child on the pencil, because they are developing the quality of integrity in them. So if they are developing the quality of integrity, that means that they are, when they go out, they also start respecting the public property and they are not damaging the public property outside there. That is the whole purpose of it. They treat this stationery as a public property of the class.
Whose question was this? Anybody whose question was this? Praveen. Okay. So he was the person.
So did I answer to your question, sir?
Good.
That's what, they are not, they're using it and then keeping it back.
Okay, second one is from SM Shetty School. Ma'am, no trends or results of various ad hoc activities were presented, right? How stakeholders were benefited in quantifiable measures is not clear.
So that is what I have mentioned in my last slide, that there are intangible and tangible benefits. So if tangible benefits are some, there are intangible benefits which are more, and that is what we are looking out for. We want the students or the generation next to be more value oriented. The time which is there today, which is making them apart from the parents, from the friends, from peer groups, from the teachers, by having technology in between and not spending time otherwise, not thinking about anybody else. So we would want more of the leaders to be born, more of the social activities to be done with them, so that intangible benefits are high.
So I have a related question, since I've asked the question on his behalf. How do you measure those values? How do you ensure that those values are seen or felt in their daily behavior?
So when the students come to the school, the discipline of the school, what we see and what we observe, the parents' feedback that we take, we also talk to the students about how they feel when they come, what the happiness that they have in the school. With all those parameters, when we check it out, we understand that there are more number of students, they want to participate and they want to do that. Plus, when we conducted the survey that we spoke about, more number of students wanted to participate every year on year in these activities. And one of the question again in that our survey was that how happy or how many students enjoyed this activity. So the percentage was around 85% students actually said that they were very happy doing this activity.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Another question on behalf of the audience is, how many of ambassador, how many students does your school have? And what percent are of special needs? Sorry, I'll have to continue just maybe the list of questions. You can think in which way you want to answer. Results, are they quantified? And what type of data would you like to share? Because there was no quantifiable results presented. I know this time is short, so it's not possible, but you can like to say something.
Okay. Thank you for the question. We have around 780 students as of now today in school, and out of them right now we have 35 diagnosed cases with the challenges that I spoke to you about, and around 16 referral cases. Those referral cases which are referred by the teacher observing the different pattern of behavior or learning difficulties in classroom and referred to the special education needs department. Now coming to the next set of questions, that are they quantifiable? Very much. We have measured them, and when we are talking about how the progress happened month on month, it's all based on measurable terms, because we incorporate that into the daily lesson pattern to the extent that we have gone and changed our curriculum. We have created parallel curriculum, which is not an easy. We have a prescribed ICSE curriculum given to us, but we have these students for whom we have created parallel curriculum. They cannot do the regular curriculum, we create a parallel curriculum, and we monitor them. And that monitoring is converted into measurable terms. We keep measuring. This is the first term what the child could do, not just in numeracy and literacy, not about writing skills. It's more about how often do they have their emotional meltdowns? Did they come under control? And what about the other social behavior? Are they able to relate better with the others? What the parents have to say at home? Are they able to have a better relation with the others around in the family? And all this we convert into measurable terms. So though they sound abstract, they're all tracked. We have a tracker sheets for them, student progress tracker sheet, and we monitor that.
Very good. Just a related question to that, because teachers are not all trained for counseling, especially since you have such a diverse population of students. Do you have some counseling, some coaching of teachers also? Because counseling is a very different art.
Very regularly. When we are talking about creating an inclusive school in the true sense, not just creating it in an admission policy or an inclusion policy, when we want to do something of that magnitude, you really need to go out of the way. We train our teachers on a regular basis. We have a SEND department, not only special educators and counselors, but learning support assistants. The school has invested in them. And we have this regular CPD sessions every Wednesday, last Wednesday of the month, are the stay-back sessions for the teachers exclusively for understanding and dealing with students or difficulties. Because we understand that the special team cannot reach out to everybody. It's the teachers who need to make the difference in the classroom. We do that. Thank you.
Continuing the same question with you, how many students participated in this and how many have been impacted? Any measure on that?
Yes, we had. We did that. Initially, like I said, when in 2016 we started the initiative, we just took students of grade 9 and 11. They were around 50 students. We have a smaller population of students in the senior grades. We took them because we felt they'll be more sensitive and sensible to handle these students. We trained them. They went through an intensive training before even asking them to go and deal with them. So first we started having these students. Then we created a team called Ambassador ambassadors of happiness. So they started going out and started speaking in the assembly, sensitizing them, and so the whole school approach started creating. Not only that, I would also like to share that the school has a very strong school student government, we call it. So we have happiness minister, Minister of Tolerance, and they are actually given target. The beauty of this program is that it is led by the students. Teachers are facilitators, we give them that, but we take a step back after that, and parents are very strongly involved in it.
Okay, thank you. This question is there for Thakur College. There has been a downward trend in two parameters, placement and number of first-class scores. How is the practice ensuring to sustain and control the results?
So regarding our academic performance, as I said, in our timetable, which is like 35 hours in a week, we work from 8:30 to 6:30 by segregating the time of the faculty so that faculty is available for the students to assist them for right from 8:30 to 6:30. So it's not that the faculty or the assistance is not available as far academics is concerned. So beyond college, school hours or college hours, the faculty is available. Regarding the placement, we have a very strong training and placement team which is taking care of training the students with the special skills, and those who are already good in studies, they are encouraged right from the second years to take up the certification courses, which definitely impacts when they are representing themselves in the front of the industry.
Right. One more question for Thakur College is this result shared with the parents with recommendation for improvements?
No, it's the work which is taken up as a challenge for the faculty only. We don't share it. Because we are dealing with the students who are matured. We cannot make it compulsory. We every time keep on motivating them, telling about the impacts of what has been done as last semester. We, as Madam was telling, we also have a buddy program, where we include our senior students also to conduct certain sessions as to encourage what was the challenges for them and how they had overcome it. So in this part of encouraging the students who come under the average categories, we encourage them not only because motivation is most important in our case, because we cannot make it mandatory. So everywhere we motivate them to take up extra courses or be a part of tutorial classes, remedial classes, doubt solving sessions, club test, and all these university solving problem sets, all this, they are the part of it.
Right. You put some targets, some places, 70%, 75%. How do you achieve the target? Because, arrive at the target. Because somewhere target 75, you achieve 85. Are you putting a low target or some method?
No, sir. I'll just like to tell you that when we adopted our system of ISO, at that time we have set those targets to be achieved. So with these efforts, previously I had also shown that there was a time when we were not able to achieve it and the efforts were on. So maybe we can enhance, because now we are continuously achieving our target, we can enhance it. I had placed the targets which are presently existing in our system.
Right. Thank you so much. Now this is for Banani. Mr. Shivakumar, Dr. K. Shivakumar. The question is, all students must have exposure to product development lab during the curriculum. So why is it called the best practice? Since you are giving to all students.
As I mentioned in my presentation, it's not possible all these students can undergo a training at industries, because the number is huge in India. Every year 15 lakhs of students coming out of the institutions, they are not able to go to industry, have intensive training at industries. It's difficult for the industries also. So in that case, there is a best practices in which we have to create certain laboratories beyond curriculum. It's not a curriculum laboratory, which is beyond, which is similar to the industrial atmosphere inside the institute, and giving training to the students to hands-on about the different kind of products, so that they will be able to understand the product development culture inside the institute, and they will become more employable than what they learned through regular conventional academic practice. So that it's called a best practices in my point of view.
Right. Another question is,
yes, sir.
Is there comparison with other colleges? Is there
Yes.
anything, are you comparing it? Because if you say best practices, when nobody else is doing that, you're introducing it for the first time.
As far as I am concerned, in my areas in Tamil Nadu, the western region of Tamil Nadu, this is the first institution we have introduced this kind of culture. Because every institution, they are focused on only academics. They are only focused on the marks and pass percentage and placements.
You have comparative data?
Yes. So we have the first institute. We are the first institute to introduce this kind of concept. So students are getting more interest towards, because of the result it shows. The comparison of last year and this year, the involvement of students in various competitions across the world is getting increased. It's about 400%. It's difference what I mentioned in my presentations. So it shows the results of the best practice.
There's one question I have for SM Shetty. You talked about encouraging students for earning, right? Make things and earn money and then share. One part of this is, are you also putting a value? How are you putting the values? Because once you start getting home, making a mode of getting money, I should not forget the values like integrity and various other things that is connected with going after money.
So the whole program Care to Share is revolving around the value-based education for the students, because when they are making things, when they are making the products, they are doing the articles in their social service period, which is a curriculum given by the department. So in those periods that the child makes, the articles which are made, we sell it off during the open day for the parents. So when the parents buy it, it's a value given to, and it's a very nominal cost, very nominal charge that the child has to put up, and they are told about where the money is going to go, why they have to earn this money, and not just to earn for themselves. But basically, if I am inculcating this habit, because I don't know, out of my students, somebody may become an entrepreneur also, who would be interested in these artifacts or handicrafts, or may know what is production all about. So to inculcate the habit of also knowing what is an entrepreneurship, that also we want to inculcate in them through this program. So not just earning money for themselves.
Right. I have one question for Silver Oak. You talked about sharing. How do you also look at the attitude change? For example, when you said sharing, how do you deal with that change? For example, possessiveness, or I don't want to share, the attitude change. How do you all monitor, or you control, or you...
Yes, sir. In the class, we have something called essential agreements. The teacher and the students of that class are agreeing upon certain things. Certain things are equality. We tell them the purpose of the stationery policy is equality. All of you are using the same kind of a pencil. You are not bringing any pencil from home. So the teacher in the class will, in the beginning stages, in the initial stages, the teacher will ensure that the children are not bringing any fancy things to the school. If we neutralize those feelings of bringing fancy things and getting attracted, they will be used to the sharing part, I feel like. There is no use of bringing a fancy pencil to the school because they are not using it anymore.
Right. Thank you so much.
I have one final question to all the panelists. Except you, where you are teaching engineers and all that for training, because I'm concerned about the education in children, basically. How does the change in attitude, the change of sharing, impact the teachers? Because what we see, that a lot of times, we teach them a lot of good things, life skills basically, but somehow that spillover doesn't change the faculty. Is it true? I'm asking this question since you're all education.
So, we started with the program called Ek Coin, Ek Value. This program basically oriented the teachers and the parents to make the students aware that the child is going to earn a coin only if he is doing a good deed. Now when he does a good deed or any help that he is extended to the teacher, to the parent, to a colleague, so teacher has to also monitor, and the teacher can also put in a coin in their piggy bank. So when the teacher is doing that, teacher has to set an example for the students. So that's how in my school, this is what has happened, and my teachers are more empathetic towards it.
Will that be true for others?
Yeah, almost the same. This would be like sensitizing the teachers on the mission of the school. Everybody will be aligning towards reaching the goals of the school. For reaching these goals, we don't have any moral education class or a social education class, but we have these kind of policies where me and my country, we grow together. Coins for the country. We also have this program called Coins for the Country, where they earn for it. So all of them are sensitized by the teachers and initiated by the teachers as well. Yes. Yes. Because the leadership team can't reach the students, only the teachers are the bridges to reach the students.
Yeah, no, that's continuing with that. Like you said, it's very, it's something that we all know that students are very, very flexible to change. But the more you become, at a senior age, changes are not very easily taken. Rigidity sets in. But it's just that you have to set that ethos and the culture, and the system of rewarding is something that really is beneficial. You reward students for the good deeds, but you reward your teachers. So we do that, and it takes time. But when you give them that vision of what is it that we want to create, everybody comes on track.
Thank you very much. Very great presentation. Yes, sorry.
Sorry. With the brain gym exercises, we actually train our teachers first in our school. And they get the training, and they are also stressed out with workloads and problems at home. So the brain gym exercises have helped them to start off with the right footing. So they go in as happier teachers to the class, and when they carry out these exercises and do the activities with the children also get more relaxed and more ready for learning. So it is a domino effect in the school.
Very good. Thank you very much. Give a big hand to everyone.
Before we announce the results, let us give our judges few minutes to collate their results. Come on the dais for the presentation. Manufacturing category, the winner is Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Mumbai Refinery. May I invite Ms. Asavri Kelkar, DGM Utilities, to please come on the stage to receive the trophy. Thank you. And from the education category, the winner is Ambassador School, Dubai. Ms. Sheila Menon, Principal, to please come on the dais to receive the trophy. We have participating certificates for all of the organizations who have participated today. So, beginning with the manufacturing category, Mr. Abhinav Gupta from Marico Limited, Himachal Pradesh. Mr. Trinidad Rao and Mr. Gopesh Sharma from Ultratech Cement Limited, Sevagram. Mr. S. Jayaval from Asian Paints Limited. Ms. Asavri Kelkar from Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. Mr. Jyoti Prakash from Castrol India Limited, Mumbai. The education category, Ms. Kala Kulsingam and Ms. Manjuna Narayanan from Global Indian International School, Malaysia. Tea is awaiting. We request you for a better round of applause. Dr. C. Palaswamy and Dr. K. Sivkumar from Banari Amman Institute of Technology. Ms. Jayalakshmi and Mr. Santhin Koganti from Silver Oaks International School, Hyderabad. Dr. Lochin Jolly from Thakur College of Engineering and Technology, Mumbai. Ms. Seema Sablok and Ms. Reshma Rao from Bant Sangha SM Shetty High School and Junior College, Mumbai. Ms. Sheila Menon, Principal, Ambassador School, Dubai. We have a small token of our appreciation for the panelists as well. May I invite our director, Ms. Maya Desai, to please present the mementos. Professor Virendra Shukla, Visiting Professor, Accredited Management Institutions. Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, Assistant Vice President, Marketing Operations and Planning Logistics, Reliance Industries Limited. Mr. Rajgopal Mukundan, Consultant, Quality Solutions. We now have a short break for tea and we'll assemble back sharp at 3.